It's Jana Eubank for the Cricut Circle blog. I'm back again to share with you another scrapbook page. We'll be going through it step by step in this video post. The page I created for you this week is this page of my family playing croquet in our backyard last summer. I chose to use the Gnome from the freshly picked cartridge because I thought he was a really fun character to use to go along with our weekly theme, which is fairy tales and folklore. Before I do that, I wanted to share with you how I like to sketch out my page designs before I actually begin cutting paper. This is a really helpful exercise to go through if you're kind of feeling blocked and you don't know where to start. We're going to break it down into some basic shapes and you'll see how a sketch can evolve from there. The advantage of doing a sketch before you start a project is it will help you to determine what size to print off your photos. It will help you to see how large or small you want to make your Cricut cuts to accent your page. And you'll also get a really good idea of where you want to put your title and your journaling and all those kinds of things. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. My friends have told me, you know, I don't scrapbook because I'm not creative or I don't know how to do it right. And I wanted to show you this little exercise real quickly to just explain to you that there really is no right or wrong way of scrapbooking. There is just your way of scrapbooking, your style. For example, here I have 9 punch circles, and these are going to represent pictures and page elements on our page. Now, if I just start organizing them within this empty space, they have a certain feeling about them. Even though they're randomly placed right now, they have a certain feeling about them because of the way they're placed on the page. Now, this might be somebody's way of doing it. Another person might do something like that, and that has a different feeling. Somebody may be really symmetrical and want things in a grid. And that's how they like to have things organized, and that has a different feeling. Somebody might like to do an asymmetrical design where they have a big thing over here and a smaller over here. Or maybe somebody wants to arrange them like that. You can see that every way isn't wrong, it just has a different feeling. And you may use one type of feeling on a certain page and then a completely different type of feeling on the next page, because depending on the results that you want to have with those pictures. Today, I'm going to be working with 5 photos. 3 of these photos actually happen to be larger than the other 2. And so I can arrange them. I can take that into consideration as I'm arranging them. But the way I ultimately desired to arrange them on my page was the 3 larger ones grouped together coming in on one edge and the other 2 smaller photos coming in on this edge. And that's where I started with my sketch. I knew that I wanted to add this little gnome into my croquet page. And I wanted him, instead of being on a shape, I thought it would be really fun to create a scene. So I decided to put grass along the bottom of my page and have him standing on it. Oops. So that's my little gnome guy. Okay? So now I have this space left and this space left and this space above here. And since I'm creating a scene, I thought it would be fun to add some trees or other elements. So I thought, well, this is a good spot for journaling. So maybe we'll put some journaling there and maybe a tree to accent the journaling. I didn't want my title at the top. I decided to put my title down here. I could put my title up there. But the reason I didn't is because I wanted to put the sun up there and clouds. Now, title would actually look good up there too with journaling down here. It just depends on what you feel like. But for me, I wanted the title down here. That felt really good to me. So that's what I decided to go with. The paper collection I'm using today is by Pink Paisley. It's brand new. It's called Hometown Summer. It's really fun. It's got all these bright primary colors and I just love it. So we're going to start with a blue background because I wanted to create the sky for my sun and for my grass behind. Next, I used the Martha Stewart All Occasions Cake Art cartridge to create these welded grass borders on my gypsy. And I'll have these files available for you on the blog. So we're just going to layer those together. And then I wanted the pictures to sort of feel like they were part of this little scene that I was creating. So this last border down here is a smaller border, and it's going to kind of overlap on those pictures a little bit. Next, I'm going to put in my larger photos. And they're going to come in off the edge like that. Okay. I created the sun using the Disney Pooh and Friends cartridge. And then the clouds, I love these clouds. They're from the Stand and Salute cartridge. And I love them because they have a flat bottom. And they work great for adding along the top of photos. Love them. I could pick up the other one. So we'll put that there. Then, as I talked about before, we have our little gnome who's going to stand on our grass here. He almost looks like he's part of the croquet game almost. Initially I had said I was going to put some journaling there, but as you can see I don't really have a lot of room, so I decided to just accent it with the freshly picked apple tree. Next we have our title. And I'll glue this all down in a minute, for time. Thought we'd just place it on there for now. This cute font is kind of a mixed font, and that font comes from the Creative Memories Cheerful Seasons cartridge. That's a fun cartridge. Not only does it have shapes from year-round that you can use year-round, but it has several fun fonts on there. And then this one that I welded together is from the Billionaire cartridge, the light Billionaire, and that's available at Walmart. Okay, so now you can kind of see we've got our visual triangle going, we've got texture with the grass, but the bottom feels a little empty, and I went back to the freshly picked cartridge and I chose to cut out some of those the mushrooms. Sort of ground, that helps ground the gnome. We'll put one here on the photo. We'll put one up here by the title. Just kind of connects the dots, and then we need one over here by the apple tree. Finally, we got our journaling strips that'll come in here. These I just create on my computer. Then I cut them into strips and add them on. Really easy. I like to use my computer. Most of the time I handwrite things, but when I want to include a lot of wording in a small space, I'll type it out. I love journaling strips because it lets the color show through behind it, yet you can still have a spot for your journaling. Okay, it's looking good, but we're not done. Do you remember what we talked about last time? We talked about going in and adding those dimensional details. I've already added some stitching up here. I've popped some things up on the pop dots to give it some dimension, but I also want to go in with a few embellishments. So I chose to put a yellow button here. The reason I did that is because I wanted it to be tone on tone, just textural. If I went in with something darker or a different color, it calls a lot of attention to it. And I didn't want to do that. So I just picked a yellow button so it was tone on tone. Then we'll go in and add, actually I'm going to move that over there, some brown buttons around the page. To accent those, and I think it's really coming together. I have this small red button I'm going to put on this bow of the apple tree. I'll stitch those brown buttons on and take some pictures of it for you. Finally, I found these cute Jolie's stickers with the croquet mallets. So I got one of those for our little gnome to hold, and now he really is a part of the game. And there's my page. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. I'll have PDF instructions for you as well as a Gypsy file to be downloaded on the blog, and we'll see you next time. This is Jana Eubank for the Cricut Circle blog.